What's up everyone, welcome to Revline89. So today we are going to be opening up and cleaning our Eaton M90 Supercharger. So we're going to go over a few specs on this before we get started. So this is from a Thunderbird. So there's a company called ModdBOX that makes a kit that you can actually use certain types of Thunderbird superchargers on your 4.0 V6 Mustang. So here are some of the specs that you need to know if you want to do this for your 4.0 Mustang. First off, you need to find a supercharger, 3.8 supercharger from a 1989 Mercury Cougar XR7 or a 1990 Mercury Cougar XR7 supercharger. Then you can also use a 1990 to 1995 Ford Thunderbird Super Coupe supercharger as well. So keep that in mind. So a couple things you need to know is ModdBOX does not supply a supercharger, so you have to find this yourself with a junkyard, eBay, Craigslist, wherever you can find one. And you also have to supply, if you're going with a bigger pulley, for example the 9.5, you have to go with bigger injectors. You should probably intercool it. There's a couple other stuff that you're going to need, like a 255 pH fuel pump, and at least 42 or 47 pound fuel injectors if you're going 9.5 boost, and some other stuff that we will go through. So if you buy just the generic ModdBOX kit, it's going to come with an 8 psi pulley, so you'll have to buy the extra pulley separate if you want that. They estimate, now these are rough ranges, about 331 crank horsepower from this. So let's go ahead and get started. So I gotta point out something. With this, very common is the bearings inside actually hit each other. So it's pretty hard. Most sellers won't tell you if it is or isn't. So you basically are getting it and taking a gamble. And worst case scenario, you have to send it in to get remanufactured. Because if it's hitting the bearings inside, which we're going to open this up and show you, if they're hitting, which we can tell by spinning this that they're not, but if they were, we would have to get it remanufactured. If you want to do it yourself, you need the equipment because it's extremely hard to do it. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. welcome to Revline 89. So today we are talking a little bit about the Eaton M90 Supercharger. So we are supercharging the Mustang. It's probably not going to be for a long time. I'm still working on getting sponsorships for miscellaneous parts that we need. So ModdBOX makes a kit that you're able to use a certain year Thunderbird supercharger. They're not the most efficient superchargers out there. You know, the X Charger is designed a little bit better, and also the Pro Charger is designed a lot better. But it's a cheap way to go if you want to supercharge your 4.0 V6 Mustang. So we are going to be doing that sometime. Before you do that though, you need to change your gears. It's recommended. Your rear end should be changed, and your drive shaft should definitely be changed. So that stuff's gonna come first, you know, as we get sponsorships and other stuff like that. So yeah, ModdBOX makes a kit that makes the supercharger work. So all you need is the ModdBOX kit and the supercharger. There's other stuff you need to do, like a higher flow mass airflow sensor. So you can either do that with the Diablo Mafia or MAF.IA, or you can go with a standalone higher flow mass airflow sensor that actually connects with your pipe. So that's a standalone, which that's probably what we're going to go with, because the problem is when you supercharge, it's recommended so you don't peg your sensor, because I think it's limited to 5 volts. So they recommend, you know, a supercharger is going to hit that and it's going to cause poor performance and so forth. So it's recommended to upgrade to a higher flow sensor. So on top of that, we're also going to be intercooling, air-to-air intercooling the supercharger. Nothing fancy, you know. We'll go with I'm working with Mission. Oh, I'm gonna botch this brand deal, ain't I? Need bigger fuel injections. They recommend a higher flow fuel pump. It's not that expensive for those. And I think something about spark plugs with the different spark, I think they recommend as well. So there's a lot of stuff to look into, as well as I'm sure there's some custom factors. So yeah, the Eaton M90, I'm guessing wheel horsepower we're going to be around 260. That's just a wild guess. I want to aim kind of lower. I'm hoping we're higher than that, but I'm just going to say 260 on the safe side. We're going with the 9.5 pulley, so we can run 9.5 boost on the pulley. So we'll be running 9.5 boost, and that should get us at least 330 crank horsepower. I just want to get over that 300 crank horsepower. You know, from factory you're 210, so I just want to get over that 300 just crank. You know, crank doesn't matter unless you're a dealership or OEM trying to sell a vehicle saying it's higher horsepower than it really is, because we all know crank is not the real horsepower. The wheel horsepower is the real horsepower. So yeah, but you know, it'd just be nice to be up over 300 at least crank. So what else? What else? Oh, you know, obviously a tuning. It'll need tuned, and obviously, let's see. Besides all the other stuff before we go there, there's something else I wanted to talk about with it. Now I just completely forgot. So the way the ModdBOX runs the supercharger kit is a little dumb as far as air intake placement. So for the X Charger, all of the stuff is mounted to, if you're looking at your motor, it's mounted to the right side, and it goes where the air filter normally would go. for the ModdBOX kit, it's ran on the left side, so you're basically making an L. You know, everything runs from the top left side straight down, then it goes past the radiator to your air, you know, filter. What I'm thinking about and what we probably would do is remove our windshield washer coolant tank and put the air system down that way and relocate the washer fluid tank and whatever else we need to over where the stock air filter normally would be. So that is an idea. Yeah, you know, there's a lot of stuff that will come up. Like I said, this is all gonna be time, you know, in the future, nothing in the near future. So we're just collecting parts, working with sponsorships, getting brand deals, slowly getting the stuff we need as cheap or free as possible, and then going and getting everything done in probably a couple years from now. So just wanted to update you guys a little bit on that. Hope you guys are having a great day, and yeah, see you in the future video.